Hey, Teddy K here for the Best Buy blog, and in this video review we take a look at the Samsung Galaxy A71, a mid-range alternative to Samsung's flagships. The Galaxy A71 is exactly the kind of phone you'd be looking for if you wanted a Samsung device but you didn't necessarily want to break the bank like you would with the Galaxy S20 line, for example. This is a mid-range phone, but it tries to do things a little bit more beyond that to make it even more of a value proposition. Despite being a mid-ranger, there are some features in this phone that really work, and I think it begins with the 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Plus screen. Mid-range phones always kind of vary when it comes to what type of displays they use. Here, Samsung used, obviously it's not the same type of display that they're using in the Galaxy S20 line, but I think at first glance, and as you get used to it, you might feel like you've got something that's pretty close. And that's saying something for a device that is significantly less expensive than those models. So for me, the screen, I mean, the size is great, and obviously because it's a lightweight device, you're not really going to have an issue with the size, I don't think. Although the fact that it's made out of plastic, so this is Samsung's sort of glass offshoot. It's mostly plastic, really, but they try to make it seem like it looks like glass. And again, when you're looking at it from a glance, you'll see that it kind of looks like glass, but it really isn't. Beyond that, I think the phone itself, you got a great screen. It's you know, the weight's good, the size isn't bad, you know, it's big, but it doesn't feel cumbersome. It's, you know, the performance is okay. Now again, because you've got a Snapdragon processor in there, you don't have the fastest chipset, and that could be an issue if you're trying to do something super intensive. So if you're trying to play a game that really requires a lot of graphics power, you're going to have some issues in terms of slowdowns. Generally speaking, when it comes to navigating the interface, it's all right. The phone is okay. It'll do the basics for you quite well. Really give me an issue there. But again, I think if you were to compare with an S20, you would see that obviously that is going to be more fluid than this is. But again, you're measuring expectations going into this. They are not the same. The Galaxy A71 is not the same as an S20 phone. I would argue it's not even necessarily a pared down version of those phones. However, it is a very interesting alternative, especially at a lower price point. Now on the camera side, because you have 4 lenses in the back, you're getting something more than you might typically get in this price range. The only thing is that the camera is somewhat hindered by what it doesn't have. So, okay, we know that the image sensor is already going to be smaller than a flagship phone is. That's going to have ramifications as far as what kind of photos you can get in certain conditions. So for example, even though Samsung puts the night mode in here, it's not going to be as good as it is in the flagships, partly because of the image sensor size and also because the software that Samsung uses already needs work on those phones. So it's not going to translate into the greatest shots here. Still use it though, still use it, because otherwise in auto, when you shoot at night, you're going to get a noisy shot. But the macro lens was the one that I wasn't really taken with. You can use it, it's okay, but it's not the best. The main lens is okay, the ultra wide is fine. Those lenses are right, especially in decent conditions. So if you're outdoors or you have good lighting, you will get good shots with this phone. I did. I was pleasantly surprised with a couple of them, and especially since you can shoot pretty much anywhere, and you can even save in RAW if you want to. You have some options there if you're also into the editing side of things to bring a little bit more out of your images. All of this is helped by the fact that the battery lasts a long time. So the 4,500 milliamp battery is a great, I mean, it just sips power. It doesn't really guzzle it. So even if you're doing a lot of things like, you know, that you normally would, media, maybe your, you know, phone calls, messaging, some browsing, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, like if you, what we consider mixed or moderate usage, you're gonna last a day easily with this phone. I never really felt like I had an issue in terms of battery life. There is no wireless charging here, so this is not as simple as just placing the thing on a pad or a dock and then recharging it. You are gonna have to plug in. It can charge reasonably fast through the USB port, so at least you don't have to wait too long to go from 0 to full or from low to full. But just bear in mind that because there's no wireless charging and because water resistance is not exactly there either, this is a phone that has a certain fragility to it. So even though you can drop it, I mean, don't drop it, I'm just saying that because it's not real glass, it may not shatter the same way glass would, but still, This phone could unfortunately get damaged if you drop it on, so maybe get a case. You might want to consider getting a case for this just to be a little bit more on the safe side. And I think that just sums it up. I mean, this is an interesting alternative to a flagship Samsung phone. And if you're not looking to break the bank, but you want the Samsung experience and you want it to be reliable and function well, the Galaxy A71 I think is worth a look. For the Best Buy blog, I'm Teddy K. Thanks for watching.